Calhoun. Now, I have just last night been able to get in touch with the first vice chairman, and I think 2-3 days ago it was Miss Rochak got in touch with the secretary, and we had not been able to have an executive board meeting yet, and to get this thing of the register off the ground. But it was discussed at length. It was brought to the section by Ms. Honeycutt, and it was the tendency of the private duty section not to approve of it as it was written up. There were some changes they would like made and some more information they'd like.
Thank you.
Because it does vitally concern them.
Any unfinished business that you know of? We do need to ratify a referendum vote which went out asking the executive board to give a courtesy endorsement to the raise in private duty fees. We had all that right here.
Eleven voted, 10 for and 1 against.
Right. There were some whose vote did not come back. But at this time, we do need to ratify the referendum vote. Could we just do that by consensus? Or do we have to make a motion?
If there's no objection.
If there's no objection, we will what?
Ratify
the referendum vote. Can this go in the file?
We keep them in the file for a year at least. I haven't stored any, but I'm gonna clean house one day, and after seeing what happened in the register there. Have to be. Well, I wondered why, you know, I wondered if I should have had these things and looked for them, and I thought, well, I just can't find them. I won't say anything further, I don't know.
We, under new business, we've already taken care of one item that's listed here, and that's about the furniture and office space, so we'll skip that. I have a motion here that has been handed me, which was made by Pauline English and seconded by Ms. Stanley. It is, I move that no monies be solicited or accepted for GS&A 5th District without first having the approval of the Executive Board. It's been moved and seconded. Any?
Madam Chairman, I understand and appreciate and a lot of other things that I get the sentiment that's behind this, but I wonder this if you really want to do this, because some time ago we all got a letter from Miss somebody asking that we make a contribution, and I did this very quickly. And as far as I know, it didn't go before this board asking if permission could be obtained. And I wonder if you really want to go to this extent.
I believe it did, Miss Overton. I believe this was a thing that was done by
Membership
committee, and we gave them the authority
even so,
to do it.
I wonder if you want to. I still wonder if you want to say that nobody can contribute money to this organization, which is what it seems like to me.
I think we can talk about it, but we cannot act on it, so don't get too upset over it. We can't do anything
Cause
about it
somebody
here.
might wanna give us some money and we
Well, there
sure
was no
wanna turn
letter
it down.
written for this. A note was sent as to whether or not we should talk to Mr. Beausoleil. If y'all want to know the truth about it, I think it's caused so much feeling here. I think you ought to know very definitely that no letter was written. We were told by Miss Woodruff if we ever got in trouble or if we ever needed anything, that Mr. Beausoleil was to represent her, and that she has called us to task about it on several occasions when we got these grants for the registry in the past. The only thing was done that we called Mr. Beausoleil for Miss Mason and I to go to see him personally to make an appointment. The call was not returned. I've sent the pictures of the dedication with Ms. Woodruff's picture in there in color to Miss Huffman and asked her what she thought I should do, whether I should call Mr. Beausoleil or not, that we were out of funds and that we wondered if we should continue to try to make an appointment, or could she give us any word of encouragement. Miss Huffman had been to Emory for 4 nights with her mother, 80-some-odd or even 90 years old, without a nurse for 4 nights. Maybe she felt it very keenly then. In my little memo, there was no letter, no copy made to anybody, because it was just asking advice, what would she suggest, because she knows our conditions and she knows what we've been going through the past few years. She took it in to Mr. Woodruff, and Mr. Beausoleil was with him. And he says, I want these girls taken care of, and he says, Mr. Jones says, do something about it. That was on Thursday. On Friday, when we were down there taking inventory, Mr. Beausoleil tried to get me, but in fact he almost came to the register when answering service told us where we were. On Monday morning, when I called to make an appointment, now we've had a special committee appointed for years. We've got authorization from this board to seek funds. It's on the record. And we started then, Ms. Garland and Miss Mason and I, when we went down to community council. We were authorized to see what we could do, in particular at that time in saving the register, to see if we couldn't. We were authorized then to ask the Fulton County to give us support when they were going to throw the $35,000 back from the polio. You remember when we gave the SAC vaccine? And we wrote the letter then, and a copy was sent to them. So they've known of our Ms. Woodruff came down into our office personally and helped me write a letter to her husband, and had that Mr. Werberlin, not Werberlin, wait a minute, you know, our representative's father, this Mr. Oglethorpe University, Weltner. Dr. Weltner come down in that office when we were asking for funds for the foundation and helped us to write them. And she has told us never to let things go under, that nursing was too close to her heart, and that she could not afford to see it die here in our area, and that whenever we felt the need was great. All right, Mr. Beausoleil called, and he said, well, now I've got a rather busy schedule. This was on Monday. Are you going to be there at 4 o'clock this afternoon? And he said, I think we can do something for you. I told him I would. I stayed till 6. And then he called me back, and I told him that this was for the district, that it had nothing to do with the register, that would be completely in new hands, and that all we needed to do was to tie it. He said, well, can't we talk over the telephone? Said, how much you girls need? And I said, well, we would like to go back to the letter we had previously, in which we'd like to have $5,000, and for the next few years, a $5,000 grant until we can get on our feet and get enough to be solvent to run at least 2 years. And so he said, well, now we're going to send Mr. Woodruff's going to send you his personal check for $5,000. And it was addressed to me. It wasn't addressed to the 5th District, but it was sent to the district office and made out for the association. And he said, now this is for this year, and says we'll talk about the other later. In fact, Ms. Huffman had called, and she indicated that he was interested in underwriting something for a year, which made me feel that he's very interested in underwriting the register. But I told Mr. Jones in the conversation that it had absolutely nothing to do with the registry. The register was closed, that the new one would not, while we would help in every way possible, that it would come under different sponsorship, that we didn't even know who that would be yet until the response was there. So there was no letter written, and if any of you have any other suggestions or any criticism, my conscience is clear, because there was no letter written or going out of board or anything else. And if anybody else wants to go down in the office with the headaches of the draft and the contentions, I can tell you it's been a rugged year. Now, it would be so easy for me just to go on out and close that door. But I think we've got a challenge, and our community here needs our help. And I'm not going to stand in the way there. I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'm not going to stand in the way when Atlanta needs a community register or whatever it needs. I'm willing to do my part about it. But no letter was written officially. I did send Ms. Armstrong the copy of the letter. It was thanked in a very formal way, and it was not a personal letter. By that I mean, you can attest to the fact that I didn't tell them about me because I was about ready to go to Texas, go to St. Simon's. None of my personal involvement in this was brought up at any time at all. It was just the fact that the register, I sent the recommendations that the register would be closed, and the 5th District, would be on a temporary basis. And he signed a check and sent a personal check. And he likes to do those things, as you well know, doesn't like getting publicity. And if there's anything wrong in that, I do not see it. I feel my conscience is clear. Had I written a letter, it would have been by direction. All I did, I asked Ms. Huffman what should I do, whether I should call Mr. Beausoleil again, that it was serious, and that we needed some help. And she took it herself.
Well, what did you say about the motion that we didn't have to act on it?
We can't act on it, we don't have a quorum.
I wish these people that are so prone to criticize would get out and get us some members. Now, that's the part that bothers me so much. On that, we hear every one of them say, we're going to do thus and so and thus and so. We sent out 1,100 letters asking for a member or a contribution. All right, we got one member, just one member.
I think they only want to know where it came from.
And then we got, we got the $210, including several that are here, and which we appreciated very much. But
Well, my feeling is that we shouldn't cut off any
well, listen,
sources of
I have nursed those people for 20
And
years.
if some of our
everywhere.
members have contacts that are helpful to us, I doubt that we should turn
They
it down.
give $300,000 from Ms.
Stifle
Evans as a
anyway.
loan. They give at least $300,000. They pick up the tab for $200,000 or $300,000 for the medical school. Every school of nursing in this city gets at least $25,000 or $35,000. I contend that we should, as a professional organization, it's up to them. You can build all the buildings and $18 million on a building, it's no better than the service it renders. And if we can't have a professional organization, certainly we should support
Caroline,
it.
I don't think anybody's doing is questioning any of that, and I think you were pretty wonderful to get it. Now, I think the reason people are objecting, I did, when you asked for the report from the program committee, I did have a suggestion on the report, and you have my report.
It's here,
And that is that attendance at our meetings is not representative of the total membership, but in answer to what you're saying, it's part and parcel of this. You try and get new members, and they, give you the same thing about how much it costs and what do I get out of it. Now, you know this is true, and this is off the record.
Yeah,
Next
let's turn
thing-
that off. No action, but I would like to tell you that we had a note of appreciation from the family of Mrs. Vaughn. Remember Mrs. Vaughn died the day after we closed the registry?
The last day she was in office.
We have a letter from her family, and we sent flowers.
Yes.
We have a letter of appreciation from the family of Mrs. William T. Healy.
They own our building,
Healy.
a landlord.
We have a
Mother.
couple of letters. I think one probably to Carolyn personally.
I don't remember.
We have
which one
two
it was.
letters from Miss Hammett thanking her for probably the letter
We
and
had the little
plaque.
tray, a
Tray.
tray, and it was engraved,
Excuse
oh,
me,
mhm.
let me say this, now, the private duty section is the largest section. And if you have a professional register of private duties, and it's attractive, it's what they want, you're gonna improve your membership right there. Because to be, you could have the board to be advisory to it, and you could have more private duties, to run it, see, with the board being advisory, and it would be a professional register. And in that way, they would need to belong, I guess, I don't know, maybe not. But I'm sure more would belong.
Are
And
they,
you would-
are
you
they
would-
not interested in the community registry?
No, not as it is set up in this letter.
Well, would they be willing then to make a proposal of their own?
I
Because,
think so.
you know, we've spent hours
I
and
know you
hours
have.
and hours and hours and hours.
Mhm.
Well, you're asking for
I've
a
been to a lot
professional
of meetings
register
on it,
again.
Yeah.
Well, we've been
Sure.
trying to operate a professional
I
register,
know.
and we haven't done it.
And we've had everybody who's advised us in any way that seems to have any knowledge has indicated that it's just absolutely foolish for us to even consider trying to operate it as a district.
To operate
For
what?
the district to continue
No,
to
not the
sponsor.
district to operate.
Well, then it
If
wouldn't
you
be a
let the
professional one if it
private
didn't come under
section
district
operate,
sponsorship.
And it could be under district sponsorship if they are on the advisory board. If
It
the
can't
board-
be. I don't think it can be.
Board of directors would have
Yeah,
to
the
be.
board of directors could be advisory to them. And you make it real attractive to the private duty nurses, and I'm sure your membership will.
Well, you see, the
improve
thing is though,
tremendously.
that the nurses don't want to include other people who are needed also to help provide
Well,
health
now,
care.
with the homemakers, there's a place down at the employment agency for them to be on. And, the private duty nurse is an RN and is a member of the fifth district, and they are the ones that is
Not all of them are now.
I beg your pardon?
Not all of them are now.
No, I know they're not, but to be in good standing with the register, they could belong to the fifth district. That is the way they had it before.
Well, I know that's the way they had it
Uh-huh.
before, but whether it's wise to do that any longer or not, I don't
Your
know.
section didn't like that, did it? The fifth district didn't have any financial,
I don't
because
know
we do
about
have
that.
a tremendously large section.
I don't know about that.
Motion that allows you
But that is an
to
idea.
not have to read it all.
Well, you know, my
Ways to get-
suggestion would be that they, if they feel very strongly
Mhm,
about this,
mhm.
I think Catherine
that they,
should do that.
make a proposal of
Because
their
she's the one
own,
supposed to present.
you know.
Well, yes, I think so.
There's a word I'm thinking of, to dispense with the reading.
No, that's not what I.
Because they don't want the fees
Oh.
cut, they don't, they
Wow,
don't want the
there's a
risk.
motion.
Set
There
it
hasn't
aside.
been, there hasn't been
allows
any,
you
there hasn't been any talk at all about
Vote on
cutting
section.
fees
For
or
different
anything
reasons.
else.
Vote on
Oh,
section.
that's
Just
to
to consider them.
For, not
then
having the
at the end,
knowledge,
this motion
well,
that you
anyway,
make way up
that
here
could,
Again,
cover a
then you
whole
vote on
thing,
that
even
motion
place,
layperson,
you know,
but in the meantime, you
that
can
the
vote
fees
on
would be cut.
things in the middle.
Each one.
Now, that was
Yeah.
not the
Well,
level
it
of
is-
nurses
it is
I
an
was
amendment
thinking
to that.
about. The level
Will
of
you
nurses
instruct
I was
who ought to
thinking
make
about
that
was no
motion?
fee cut. It would
Uh,
be
so
the older
that
nurses that
can
have,
be
had-
done.
they have had their day of hard cases.
There's a word.
To let them have an
Serious?
easier case.
No, that's
Because
not
they
the
still
word.
are,
Well,
isn't it?
you know, it's been an eye-opener to me
No,
just to have to handle it the few
It's,
weeks that we have.
Uh-huh.
And it's just amazing the
I know.
amount
I'll
of
think of
restrictions. that the
Mhm.
nurses put down.
It's supposed to be.
You wouldn't believe it.
I don't know about that,
Privilege
Ms.
of,
Olden, because,
of
just wouldn't
discussing and
you mean
voting
what
on
they're doing, what they
sections,
want
and
to
then
do,
you go
what
back
they're
and you
doing,
vote
they
on the
want
whole.
to.
we can have that, look, when I went
that
to.
is,
So if you're not gonna,
you know,
you're not gonna be able to
it
do
is,
something,
it's
why?
supposed to be.
A lot of people
serious.
why should
Yeah.
you be paid?
refuse
I think you
Which
put that
means,
off.
refuse
I don't know, consider
Well,
it.
they probably have some
Paragraph by
reason for that.
Shall we call it
paragraph.
adjourned?
Somebody amend it.
Let me say